All right, it's time for a Hot 100 extra, and I got a doozy of a Lost 45 I want to play for you. Bobby Comstock, Let's Stomp, back in 1963, a dance record from another dance from the early 60s. Well, it was Bobby Comstock, but he was in a group. He had success as a solo artist in the group called Bobby Comstock and the Counts. Their first hit was Too Young. First release was Too Young. That was off the Mary Lee label. They switched to Triumph Records, which is a subsidiary of Atlantic Records, and they came out with a rock and roll version, a rave up version of the Tennessee Waltz that was done by Petty Page. Their version of that song went to number 52 on Billboard's Hot 100, and this was in 1959. And even though they never made top 40, even though this song did not make top 40, they got on the Alan Freed package tours, and they toured with Bobby Fenton and Freddie Cannon. They appeared on Dick Clark's American Bandstand, had another hit record, very small hit. It was their version of Jambalaya. Their version went to number 90. It was covered by Hank Williams back in 1952. They switched to the Lawn label in 1962 and came out with Let's Stomp. Let's Stomp went to number 57 in early 1963. It was a big hit in some regions of the country and some markets, and not a hit at all in other markets. That's the way it goes. But now I gotta mention one thing about this record. That is you gotta hotwire this into your memory banks. That song, Let's Stomp, it was written by Bob Feldman, Jerry Goldstein, and I can't pronounce this guy's last name. It's Richard Gother. I'm just going to pronounce it. Gother. It's Gotteher. Hell, I'm not even sure if I even spelled it correctly. But the thing about these three guys, these were songwriters, producers. They masqueraded as Australians with a British accent, and they dubbed themselves the Strange Loves, and had that hit in the summer of '65 called I Want Candy. But before that happened, they produced My Boyfriend's Back by the Angels. These guys were running hot back in the early to mid 60s. And speaking of which, Bobby Comstock's and the Counts' last hit was the answer song to My Boyfriend's Back, called Your Boyfriend's Back, and their version went up to number 98. Bobby Comstock, this is Let's Stomp. Let's stomp all the way up to the top of the charts. Billboard's Hot 100, a Billboard Hot 100 extra by Mr. DJ.